The LPGA has done in one day what the WNBA should have been doing all season. Caitlin Clark playing golf was a huge deal, almost overshadowing rival sports. The LPGA's handling of Clark's appearance was a masterclass in maximizing star power, while the WNBA's silence regarding Clark is raising questions. In fact, the LPGA may be intentionally trolling the WNBA. Originally, Clark's Pro-Am event wasn't going to be televised, but fans flooded the LPGA with requests to stream the event, and within days, it was on TV. Caitlin Clark's golf outing generated 7 million impressions on LPGA's social media, far beyond its usual reach. This was a massive win for the LPGA, and their promotion of her event felt like a calculated move to both highlight Clark and perhaps send a message to the WNBA. While Clark has become a star in basketball, other leagues quickly embraced her, but the WNBA, where Clark is expected to play in the future, has been noticeably absent from the conversation. There have even been reports of promotional mistakes, like misspelling her name, showing a lack of recognition for one of the sport's brightest stars. Meanwhile, the LPGA capitalized on Clark's appeal by pairing her with their top golfer, Nelly Korda. This collaboration drew over 34 million impressions. For the LPGA, which struggles with visibility, this was a smart move. They recognized Clark's star power and attracted a new audience. But why didn't the WNBA do the same? The WNBA has long struggled with promoting its players. Unlike the NBA, which turns athletes into global icons, the WNBA often fails to leverage the appeal of its stars. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, yet the league's marketing has been lackluster. While other sports figures like Serena Williams have praised Clark's talent, the WNBA's failure to capitalize on her rising star has been frustrating for fans. The LPGA, on the other hand, took full advantage. By associating themselves with Clark, they were able to generate not only more exposure but also more engagement. The question is, why hasn't the WNBA done the same? The answer may lie in the WNBA's structural issues, including a smaller budget and a reluctance to market individual players over teams. The LPGA's posts celebrating Clark, such as "Who doesn't love Caitlin Clark?" seem almost like a deliberate jab at the WNBA's silence. It's hard to ignore the tension between how the LPGA has embraced Clark and how the WNBA has been quiet. It feels less like admiration and more like strategy. By aligning with Clark, the LPGA is not just promoting an athlete, but positioning itself to grow its audience. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about the future of women's sports and the challenge leagues face to remain relevant. The LPGA understands that athletes like Clark are rare and valuable. The WNBA, on the other hand, is missing a golden opportunity. Social media plays a huge role in today's sports landscape. The LPGA's handling of Clark on their platforms is a case study in how to drive engagement. With 34 million impressions, the LPGA brought in new fans who otherwise wouldn't have tuned in. In contrast, the WNBA struggles to create that level of engagement, often seeming reactive in their marketing approach. Another issue lies within the WNBA itself. Some players support Caitlin Clark, while others do not, reflecting a broader tension about how to handle star power. In the NBA, individuality is celebrated. Players like LeBron James are marketed as personal brands, benefiting both the player and the league. The WNBA, however, tends to prioritize team dynamics, often at the expense of promoting individual stars like Clark. There's also fear involved. The WNBA is still growing, and there's a risk that focusing too much on one player could disrupt the balance. But this is a short-sighted concern. Clark is a star, and the WNBA needs her visibility to drive its growth. Ignoring her could set the league back years. The LPGA's handling of Caitlin Clark feels like a subtle trolling of the WNBA's failure to embrace her. The LPGA flooded social media with Clark content, turning her golf outing into a global event. Meanwhile, the WNBA's lack of promotion has created a noticeable gap, leaving fans disappointed and frustrated. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about the future of the WNBA. If the league doesn't adapt, it risks becoming irrelevant in an increasingly competitive sports landscape. The LPGA's success with Clark shows how star power can drive engagement and growth. The WNBA's hesitation to embrace this has left them in the dust. This situation underscores a deeper issue in women's sports: the need to embrace individuality, market players effectively, and capitalize on moments of potential. The LPGA has recognized Clark's star power, and in doing so, positioned itself to expand its audience. The WNBA's failure to do the same risks missing out on a golden opportunity. If the WNBA hopes to compete in the future, they'll need to change their approach. Embracing players like Caitlin Clark could be the key to the league's growth. But if they continue to downplay her stardom, the LPGA and other sports leagues will gladly take advantage. The ball is now in the WNBA's court. Will they step up or risk being left behind?